Yes, but what do you... Oh, you want me to turn the page? Yes? Ah, okay.
The levitation charm. Aha, starting with the basics. This one always comes in handy. Right, first we'll learn a bit about the spell. Then, the levitation charm is one of the first spells learnt by any young witch or wizard. With the charm, a witch or wizard can make things fly with the flick of a wand. The charm is an excellent test of your magical skill, wand control, and above all, patience. There you have it. For every spell you learn, you'll first get a description of the spell from the author. Oh, look, there's more to find out about the spell. Looks like Miranda Gozhog also put a wizarding story about the levitation charm into her book. Pull up the glowing picture with your wand to read the story, or just turn the page.
Right, see how this is going to work. So because there's only 12 pages in here, I was under the impression that that was going to be the entire game. No, I think it's 12 pages per chapter, so which is pretty cool.
Looks like we're going to hear a tale about this spell. Ready? It's up to you. Do you want to read the story now or later? Use your wand to choose. Point at one of the tabs. Hold the T button, then slide the tab out. Good. Now, oh, well done. The levitation charm was invented in 1544 by Warlock Jarlath Hobart.
Sorry, I had to do that.
He mistakenly believed that he had at last succeeded in doing what wizard kind had so far failed to do, and learnt to fly.
Lies!
Hobart invited a large crowd of wizards, including the chief warlock of the Wizengamot, to witness his maiden flight. On the 16th of July, 1544, Hobart climbed onto the roof of the local church. And after several speeches and a rousing performance of the... No, that's not how the story goes.
You mean it wasn't the bagpipes?
Ah, yes. After a rousing performance of the national anthem, he leapt into midair. At first, Hobart
He's a phony.
succeeded. He hung in midair for nearly 3 minutes, until the crowd grew impatient to see him move somewhere. In response to their catcalls, Hobart began to perform vigorous swimming movements, which had no effect. Mistakenly believing that he was being hampered by his heavy boots and... Oh, another missing word. Jarlath's going to throw some... Oh, believing he was being hampered by his heavy robes, he took them off and tossed them away. Upon removal of these items, Hobart dropped 10 feet, and it became painfully clear to those watching from below that far from weighing him down, they had been helping to keep him airborne. Infuriated by the increasing laughter of the onlookers, Hobart continued to strip. Until finally, on removal of his... Oh dear, what do you think he removed next?
I pray it's false teeth.
That definitely wasn't right.
Oh.
On removal of his underpants, he plummeted to the earth, completely naked. Breaking 16 bones and earning himself a fine for what the chief warlock described as outrageous silliness. Humiliated, Hobart returned home and continued his work. He eventually realized that he had invented a spell that would lift objects into the air and could cause them to hover for varying lengths of time, depending on their weight and the skill of the spellcaster. Small animals and even children might be levitated, but once airborne, they had no control over their direction of movement. Hobart consequently made a second announcement, and another, even larger crowd assembled to watch his new demonstration, hoping for another hearty laugh at his expense. The new demonstration was initially much more successful than the first. Hobart showed the onlookers how he could lift a variety of objects, ranging from small rocks all the way up to... What else could this spell levitate? Pull out... That's it! He could lift fallen trees! Unfortunately, the cheers of the crowd went to Hobart's head, and he decided for a finale to levitate the chief's hat. It was only then that he, and indeed the crowd, realised that the chief wore a wig. Hobart only survived the resulting duel by levitating the chief's robes over his head and running for it. There you go. Now, some spells in the book will have wizarding stories to go with them, left especially by Miranda. I mean, our esteemed author. This spellbook has some powerful magic indeed. Time for you to do some magic of your own. I think you're ready to learn to cast this spell. Wand at the ready and turn the page to learn it. One of the book's pictures has got a bit out of control. Just try brushing those feathers away with your hand.
Get away, you evil thing!
Wingardium Leviosa! The magic words for the levitation charm are Wingardium Leviosa. Be sure to make the gar nice and long. Say the incantation aloud nice and clearly now. 3, 2, 1.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
That's it.
She's a nightmare.
That's the incantation learnt. Now time for the wand gesture you must make to cast the spell. Pull the gesture diagram up from the page.
Which one's which? Is it that?
This spell is all in the wrist. Keep your wand hand loose and perform a nice, smooth swish and flick movement. This is it. To cast a spell, you trace the gesture shape while holding the move button on your controller. Hold down the move button, trace the shape, then let go. That's the T button. To cast a spell, hold down the move button. It's the one with a squiggle. Hold it down and start tracing the shape. Not quite right. When you hold down the move button, start tracing the shape right away. Imagine using your wand like a paintbrush to draw the gesture. That's it. See that symbol in the corner? That means you've cast the spell. Now, you don't need to press the move button or make the gesture again. You can keep using this spell till you cast another. Now, with the levitation charm, you point your wand at an object, then hold the T button to levitate it. That's the spell, all right. You just point and press the T button. Oh, here we go. Try levitating that jar. Point at it and hold the T button. You've done it!
Oh.
You can levitate it. You have a bright, magical future ahead of you, I can
I know
tell.
where it goes.
You can
yes!
Oh, well, you've got the levitation basics. These things don't grow on trees, you know. Levitate the jar again and try to land it carefully.
Yeah.
Try levitating it again.
Floating eyeball! Floating eyeball! Okay.
Ugh. Must you? Put the jar safely back down on the book so we can move on. You need to safely land the jar.
Yeah.
Oh, smashed again. Well, let's move on for now. You can come back and try the activity again if you want to learn a bit more finesse.
That was fun.
Ugh. Must you? I suppose that was inevitable. Ugh. Must you? I knew it would come to this. I suppose that was inevitable.
Oh, I see what you did there. I suppose. Yeah, okay. How do we move on? How do we move on?
Slippery little things, eh? I suppose that was inevitable. I knew it would come to this. Ugh, must you? I suppose that was inevitable.
And they're gone.
When you're
Now
done,
what?
just hold the circle button to return the book to normal.
Ah, I see. Of course. Of course.
Huh, look at that. Some previous student has scribbled in your book. Defacing a library book.
Let's have
Wait.
some fun.
It looks like they've added an enchantment to the book. I tell you what, use your wand to pull up that bewitched illustration from the page and let's see what happens. You'll need to cast the levitation charm again. Remember, swish your wand down and flick up. Spot on.
Okay, so it's not that. I need to get the words.
Huh, look at that. Some previous student has scribbled in your book. Defacing a library book. Wait, it looks like they've added an enchantment to the book.
Oh, it's adorable.
Use your wand to pull up that bewitched illustration from the page and let's see what happens. It seems our mischievous magical vandal wanted to give you a creature to practice levitating. Go on then, give it a go. Cast Wingardium Leviosa and then try levitating that toad. It won't do it any harm.
Okay, I'm done. It's fun. Ah, there we go. There we go.
I might have to start taking away house points for that tomfoolery, even if the toad was just conjured up by your book. That's the basics. Now it's time for a proper practice of your new spell. You've learnt your first spell. Now it's time for a practice exercise conjured by your book. I'll be awarding house points, so do your best. Let's find out what challenge Miranda Goshawk has set you. Point your wand at the glowing illustration and pull it up. Now it's time to...
Oh, whoops. We're just messing around.
Now it's time to practice your new charm and learn to levitate with confidence. Luckily, this spellbook holds a number of powerful enchantments which allow it to provide a safe space for spell practice. Your book's going to conjure up a practice space. Here we go.
Huh. Huh, cool.
A herbology greenhouse.
Nice.
Those plants are mandrakes. I'd know them anywhere. A perfect chance to put your levitation to the test. Levitate the mandrakes out of the ground and into those pots over there.
I know exactly where this is
Cast the
going.
levitation charm again for this exercise. Now these mandrakes are fragile, so you'd better levitate them up out of the ground and... Oh, they're stubborn. There he goes.
Ah!
Fill the place. Must be there. Point your wand at a mandrake and levitate him up out of the ground. Now just release the T button to drop him.
Okay. It's loud. Ah, loud.
He's woken up. I'll magically muffle him with a spell. Right. Drop this little fellow into the right-sized pot. Good job. Ugly blighters, aren't they?
In you go.
Excellent. Another one safely repotted. Good.
Just super annoying.
Release the T button to pop him in.
Up, go up.
That's
Right,
it.
there you go.
Release the T button to drop him.
There we go. Ah, you're super loud. Well, at least you were in the movies. Can't rise.
You can't flick this spell. You have to aim your wand, then pull the T button.
There we go.
All safely repotted. Some spectacular levitation in there, I must say.
Hi, Mum.
Activity complete.
Nice.
Time to see how well you did. Here's a note recording your progress in this lesson. Here we are. Let's see how you did. Well done indeed.
Flying colours.
You've mastered your first spell. And to prove it, here's a wizarding photograph, recording one of your moments of magic. Good work. Oh, spectacular. All mandrakes repotted without any mistakes, so that's 15 house points for you. Miranda Goshawk's left behind a little more information on this spell. If you'd like to read it, pull up the note, or you can just turn the page. Activity complete. Time to see how well you did. Here's a note recording your progress in this lesson. Let's see here. Well done indeed. You've mastered your first spell. Ha! And to prove it, here's a wizarding photograph, recording one of your moments of magic. Good work. Oh, spectacular. All mandrakes repotted without any mistakes. There are many variations of this spell. The hover charm, the rocket charm, and the floating charm, to name but a few. But this remains the original and best. This charm ought not to be seen as a joke spell. It can be most useful in duels and can lift physical obstacles. And can even levitate small creatures, though this is likely to confuse any poor animal and is certainly not to be encouraged. Good work. Your first spell...
I am so very, very sorry. Basically, what just happened is Audacity died. Luckily I was able to recover it, because that was worrying, but okay, so good. So good, so good, able to recover it, so good.
Lesson complete.
I have
now
no idea
you're
what I
ready to
just
move on
did.
to your next spell. You can return
Sure, I have
here
no
whenever
idea.
you like. So turn the page to move on.
Okay, I have no idea what just happened, at all. So that thing, what just happened? I don't know. That was worrying.